Morning, everybody. Today's lesson is lesson 10.5 and it's problem solving for time intervals. So Zach and his family are going to New York City. Their airplane leaves at 9:15 a.m. They need to arrive at the airport 60 minutes before their flight. It takes 15 minutes to get to the airport. The family needs 30 minutes to get ready to leave. At what time should Zach's family start getting ready? So what do I need to find? I need to find what time Zach's family should start getting ready. What information do I need to use? The time the airplane leaves, the time the family needs to arrive at the airport, the time it takes to get to the airport, and the time the family needs to get ready. And then it says, how will I use the information? Well, today we're going to use a number line to find our answer. Now we're going to solve the problem. So we have to find 9:15 a.m. on the number line and then draw the jumps to show the time. So 9:15 is already done for us, and we're going to draw the jumps to find the time. So I'm going to go a whole hour. So we're going to go 9:15 and we're going to go backwards a whole hour. And an hour is 60 minutes. So we need to write 60 up there. And a whole hour before that is 8:15 a.m. Okay? And then we're going to go 15 minutes because that's going to bring us to a nice solid number of 8 o'clock. And then we're going to go 30 minutes, which is going to bring us to 7:30 a.m. This is 30. So if we look at that again, 9:15, we go back an hour, that's 8:15, another 15 minutes, it's 8, and then 30 makes it to 7:30. So we're going to count back 60 minutes. I kind of did this without filling in the blanks. We're going to count back 60 minutes to find the time they need to arrive at the airport. Then we're going to count back 15 minutes to find the time that they need to leave for the airport. And then we're going to count back 30 minutes to find the time they need to start getting ready. So Zach's family should start getting ready at 7:30 a.m. So we're going to put 7:30 a.m. All right, let's try another problem. It says Bradley gets out of school at 2:45 p.m. It takes him 10 minutes to walk home. Then he spends 10 minutes eating a snack. He spends 8 minutes putting on his soccer uniform. It takes 20 minutes for Bradley's father to drive him to soccer practice. At what time does Bradley arrive at soccer practice? What do we need to find? I need to find the time that Bradley arrives at soccer. So we're just going to put a little bullet point and say the time Bradley arrives at soccer. Okay, what information do I need to use? We need to use the time Bradley gets out of school, the time Bradley gets out of school, the time it takes to walk home, time it takes to walk home, time to eat a snack, time to get dressed. I'm going to run out of room myself. Time to get dressed. And then there's still one more, and it's the time it takes to get to soccer practice. So I'm just going to write it right here. Time it takes to get to soccer practice. All right? And then how will we use the information? We're going to use a number line. So I'm just going to write right here, number line. Number line. All right, that's quite a bit, but we have to make sure that we do it all right. So we're going to draw this number line or the diagram to help us explain our answer. So first, we need to know what time he gets out of school. And so when we come back up here, the time he gets out of school is 2:45. So we're gonna start on the left. We're gonna say 2:45 p.m. Then if we just go down our bullet points here, we need to figure out how long it takes him to walk home. So it takes him 10 minutes to walk home. So we need to draw a 10-minute mark here. And 10 minutes, that makes it 2:55. Then we need to figure out how long it takes him to eat a snack. Then he spends 10 minutes eating a snack, so we need to do another 10 minutes. So now it's changed to a new hour, and now it's 3:05. And then we need to know how long it takes him to get dressed. So he spends 8 minutes putting on his soccer uniform. So 8 here. And so 8 more minutes, that brings us to 3:13. And then the last thing is how long it takes to get to soccer practice, and it takes 20 minutes for Bradley's father to take him to soccer practice. So then we need to add 20 minutes here, and so then that brings us to 3:33 p.m. So question 1 says, at what time does Bradley arrive at soccer practice? He arrives at soccer practice at 3:33 p.m. And then question 2 says, how do you know your answer is reasonable? Well, you can check your answer by starting at 3:30 and then counting back, okay? So you can, I'm gonna try to make it so you can see this. You can check your answer by starting at 3:33 p.m. and counting back by 20, 8, 10, and 10. Which will bring you to the starting time at 2:45. So then I'm just going to say which will bring you to 2:45 p.m. Let me show you that again. So you can check your answer by starting at 3:33 p.m. and counting back by 20, 8, 10, and 10, which will bring you to 2:45 p.m., which is your original starting time. So then you will know your answer is reasonable. All right, our Sharon show says, Patty went to the shopping mall at 11:30 a.m. She shopped for 25 minutes. She spent 40 minutes eating lunch. Then she met a friend at a movie. At what time did Patty meet her friend? So first we have to begin with 11:30 on the number line. And it's 11:30 a.m. on the number line. So that's actually already done for us. And then we're going to count forward 25 minutes for the time that she shopped, and then 40 minutes for how long they ate lunch, okay? So then if we do 25 minutes, 11:30 to 20 with 25 minutes, brings us to 11:55. And then if we do 40 minutes, 11:55 plus 40, that brings us to 12:35, okay? You could always break this down and do it by 5 and then 35 if that helps you to pass over that next hour, but our final answer is 12:35. So Patty met her friend at 12:35, and this time it is p.m. Now, the reason it switched, it started at a.m., it's because it crossed over that noon hour, so then it changes to p.m. All right, what if Patty goes to the mall at 11:30 a.m. and meets a friend at a movie at 1:15? Patty wants to shop and have 45 minutes for lunch before meeting her friend. How much time can Patty spend shopping? All right, so to figure this answer out, we want to know how much time she'll have to shop if she eats lunch for 45 minutes. So if we get there at 11:30, I'm just going to use a number line over to the side, a really quick number line. If we get there at 11:30, I know that, and we have 45 minutes for lunch, But if I break this down to 30 first, that brings me right to 12, which is easier to work with. And then 30 plus 15 gives me my 45. So if this is 15, and then 12 plus 15 is 12:15. So this would be what time it is now if she has 45 minutes for lunch, but the movie is not until 1:15. So from 12:15 until 1:15, that's a whole hour or 60 minutes that she would have to shop. So you could say 60 minutes or 1 hour. Now number 3 says Avery got on the bus at 1:10 p.m. The trip took 90 minutes. Then she walked for 32 minutes to get home. At what time did Avery arrive home? Okay, so again, you could make a number line. So she got on the bus at 1:10. So she gets on the bus at 1:10, and the trip takes 90 minutes. Well, an hour is 60, so I'm just gonna jump a whole hour first. So that's 60. I'm making it kind of a short jump, but that makes us at 2:10. And then we need another 30 minutes to finish off that 90 minutes, because 60 plus 30 equals 90. So 10 plus 30 is 40. So that brings us to 2:40. Now, the story says that it was 90 minutes on the trip, but then she had to walk another 32 minutes to get home. So then from here, we have to add 32 minutes. So just depends on how you want to add it. But from 40 to the next hour, from 2:40 to 3, that's only 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna put 20 here. That brings me to 3 o'clock. I'm about ready to run out of room. And then that's 20, but I have to do 32. So I still need to do 12 more. So then I'm just gonna make 12 right here. And that means I'm gonna bring my arrow down. That means it's 3:12 by the time she gets home, because it says at what time did Avery arrive home, and that's gonna be 3:12 p.m. I'm gonna show you that number line again because it got kind of tricky. So we did an hour and then 30 to make the 90 minutes. And then we did 20 and 12 to make the 32, and we came to 3:12 p.m. All right, on your own, I want you to try number 4 on this page, and number 5 at the top of the next page on your own, okay? And then I'm gonna go over those with you when you come back to the video, all right? So for number 4, Kyle and Josh have a total of 64 CDs, and Kyle has 12 more CDs than Josh. How many CDs does each boy have? This is kind of one of those problems that you know the total number that you're going to have, and you know that Kyle has 12 more. So you have to kind of figure out in your head, what 2 numbers do you think could equal 60? And then you just try them. If it doesn't work, then you try another 2 numbers. But you always know that Kyle has to have 12 more than whatever Josh has. So once you try out a number of problems, the correct answer ends up being that Kyle has 38 and Josh has 26, because 38 is 12 more than 26, and when you add those 2 numbers together, you get a total of 64. Okay, and number 5, the other one you're supposed to do on your own, says Jamal spent 60 minutes using the computer. He spent a half an hour of the time playing games and the rest of the time researching his report. How many minutes did Jamal spend researching his report? So we had to come to this half an hour, and you have to realize that a half an hour is worth 30 minutes. So since he spent 60 minutes using the computer and he spent 30 minutes playing games, it wants to know how many minutes did Jamal spend researching his report. Well, then you just have to do 60 minus 30, which gives you 30 minutes. Okay? All right, number 6 says, when Caleb got home from school, he worked on his science project for 20 minutes, then he studied for a test for 30 minutes. He finished at 4:35 p.m. At what time did Caleb get home from school? So we did a science project for 20, and he studied for a test for 30, and when you do 20 plus 30, that equals 50. And then he finished at 4:30. Right, so since we have 20 plus 30 equals 50, we have to go back 50 minutes, okay? So I made a little clock over here on the side, which you can do the same if you want, but it's 4:35, and so our 7 here would be the 4:35, and we have to go backwards this direction 50 minutes to come up with our right answer. So we're just going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay, so we come to this 9 here, And since we went back and we passed over the 12, we know it's now 3. And when we get to the 9, if we count around, we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So it's 3:45 p.m. All right, number 7 says Miguel played video games each day for a week. On Monday, he scored 83 points. His score went up 5 points each day. On what day did Miguel score 103 points? So, and then it says, explain how you found your answer. So we're going to start with 83 points over here on the side. We're just going to use this space here. So if it's 83 points, and then we're going to add, and it says every day. So he had 83 on Monday. So then we can write a couple days down, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, let's just see. And then we're going to add 5 points each day. So 83 plus 5 is 88, okay? Is 88 points, okay? And then we can add 5 points every day until we get to 103, until we get to 103, all right? So now we want to do 88 plus 5, which is going to equal your 93, and then 93 plus 5 is going to be 98. And so we're still not quite to 103 yet, so then we're going to be at Friday, and 98 plus 5 is going to equal 103. So it asks, on what day did Miguel score 103 points? So it is Friday. So he scores 103 points on Friday. All right, and since we did all of this over here on the side, we're just gonna say we added 5 until we reached 103. So we added 5 points each day until we came to 103 points. All right. And then the last question, it says, when Laura arrived at the library, she spent 40 minutes reading a book, then she spent 15 minutes reading a magazine. She left the library at 4:15 p.m. Circle the time that makes the sentence true. So right away I see that she spent 40 minutes reading a book, and then she spent 15 minutes reading a magazine. So I like to add 40 plus 15 so we know our total, and that is 55. So we have 55 total minutes. So she left the library at 4:15. So if we go back up here to this clock again and pretend up here, 4:15 would be here, and we have to go backwards 55 minutes. So it'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So this is where your 4 is. So that's if we count 5, 10, 15, 20, we know it's going to be 20 minutes after an hour. And because we crossed over that 12, we went from 4 to 3. So it's going to be 3:20 is our correct answer. So 3:20. All right, so for today's homework, you're just going to go to Think Central. There's only going to be one assignment. There's just going to be the assignment for lesson 10.4. There is not a practice lesson for this day. Okay, so you're only going to have just the one assignment, lesson 10.4, to do on Think Central. Turn it in and then go back to your Google Classroom and mark as done, and have a great rest of your day. All right, bye.